Hey, this is Danny from Scare Talk. Before we get into all the horror greatness, I gotta let you know about Anchor. Anchor is the host site that we use to record our podcast. Anchor will upload your podcast to Apple and Spotify and many other listening platforms. Anchor is completely free, and you can download the app or go to the website, anchor.fm, and you can record straight on there. There's also some cool editing tools that you can use. Did I mention that it's free? Yeah, so if you want to make a podcast, Anchor is the way to go. Go check it out. Now, for the spooky stuff.
Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror fans. This podcast will cover horror movie reviews, ratings, and rankings. Now for your hosts, Danny and Joel.
Yeah! This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Ginseng Joel.
Hey guys, what's up? Ginseng?
We're getting some energy.
That's a G, not a J.
Whatever. It has the same sound.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so the day is finally here. We can now talk about Scream.
Scream
from 2022.
Yes.
Joel, who is in it?
Alright, so this one stars Jenna Ortega. She plays Tara. She is in The Babysitter, Killer Queen, 10 episodes of the show You, Studio 666, and she will be in Studio 666, and the upcoming X.
Yes.
And then we've got Melissa Barrera, however you say it. She is Sam. She is the sister. And she was in the Heights, Tanto Amor, 119 episodes, and Siempre Tuya, 124 episodes. So,
all right.
Her background is Spanish.
Yes.
And we've got Jack Quaid. He's Richie, the boyfriend, and he is in the show The Boys. He's in 24 episodes so far, 3 seasons of that. Rampage, I think the Rock movie, and Hunger Games and Hunger Games Catching Fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this was written by James Vanderbilt. He wrote Zodiac, Basic, and Murder Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
And also Guy Busick. He wrote Ready or Not, Urge, and the upcoming Final Destination 6.
All right.
And this was directed by Radio Silence, who is Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. And they both did Ready or Not, Devil's Due, and VHS. A segment of VHS.
Awesome.
So.
All right, so 25 years after the original series of murders in Woodsboro, a new Ghostface emerges, and Sidney Prescott must return to uncover the truth.
Oh, man.
Sidney is back.
Sounds like the last 3 of the Scream movies.
Yeah.
Synopsis.
So we got Sidney, we got Dewey, we got Gail, and we've got a whole new cast.
Yes.
Of characters and Ghostface.
Yeah.
Oh, and the deputy.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Judy.
Yeah.
She's a sheriff. She's a sheriff.
She's the sheriff now in
Yeah.
this one. That's right.
Yeah.
She was the deputy in 4.
Mm-hmm.
And she is also in this.
Yes, she is.
Which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got Dylan Minnette. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think so.
From 13 Reasons Why, Don't Breathe. He is in this. And I think, I was a little concerned about the casting because he's like 25 or something. He's older.
Yeah. Well, they're not in high school.
But they're not in high school.
Yeah.
So that's good because usually they're in high school in these movies.
Yeah.
But this one, it looks like they're college students.
Yeah.
They're at a bar drinking and stuff. So
Yeah.
That's
They're definitely older in this one.
But I don't know. Like, most of them are older, but then Jenna Ortega is. I don't know. I feel like she looks so much younger than them.
Yeah.
Well, I think she's like 19 or 20.
She still could be like a college friend of theirs too. So that college has all sorts of age groups and everything. So I guess college is just a safe bet to put the
they don't really say
people. Yeah, they don't really say ages for these people.
Yeah,
but most of them have to be at least 21 because some of them are in a bar.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is California. One of the scenes takes place in Modesto.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool because that's not
it's
too far away from where we're from. So that was kind of cool to see. Mm-hmm. Just for like a second.
Yeah,
it was just a really short scene. So what do you think overall of this?
Overall, I really enjoyed it. So Scream is a franchise that for me there's movies that are better than others, but I haven't been disappointed with a Scream movie yet.
Yeah.
Even my least favorite is still enjoyable. And so this was definitely up there with that. And that's really what I was going for. This is probably one of, if not my favorite, horror series.
Yeah.
Just because of how consistent it's been in quality. And just, it keeps you guessing. Every single movie, for the most part, like you can guess at some points who the killer is going to be. But most people, if you guess the killer, you're probably not going to guess what the motive is of that killer. And that's also a really big thing too. It's hard. Like they really set the bar really high with the first Scream.
Yeah.
As far as, each movie has to be a whodunit. Every movie has to have some sort of meta message to it.
Yeah.
And so it's hard going 5 movies deep into a franchise and keeping that that suspense, that level of mystery intact after so many sequels. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked the cast for the most part. Like some of them are definitely better than others for like the new people. And that's another big thing too. It's important to have people that you actually care about, in your movies. And they did a good job with the characters here. So I really enjoyed it.
Cool. So we're staying away from spoilers. Mm-hmm. For the first part of the review, we're gonna talk about spoilers, but we'll warn you. Yeah. Before we do that, so. I also really enjoyed it. Something else that Scream kind of is known for is the opening scene.
Yeah.
Starting with that Drew Barrymore opening scene, and then each film after that has had its own little opening scene that kind of starts the movie before you see the title card of Scream, and kind of gets you ready. Mm-hmm. And this one, we were concerned about seeing a lot of the opening scene in the trailer.
Yeah, they really showed us quite a bit, we thought.
Yeah. And so that's something we had talked about, like, oh man, it looks like Jenna Ortega is going to die, and it looks like, that's the opening scene, and, but the opening scene was really good.
Yeah, it was.
It was very well done. There's a lot of good dialogue there.
They did a lot of good editing for that trailer because there were scenes in between the trailer that we saw in the movie that was not in the trailer itself. Right. There was a lot of dialogue and everything like that, so it was really good.
Yeah. A lot of good dialogue about horror.
Yeah. Elevated horror movies.
Yeah. And about the original Scream. And it was really cool. And they still have Roger L. Jackson on the phone as Ghostface for the entire film, and he does a really good job.
Yeah, he talks more in this one than he I think has in all the other movies. Like, combined.
Those phone calls, this is like on par with the first one to me. With the phone calls. Yeah. Just the creepiness of it. The stuff that he's talking about is just really good. Yeah. One thing that I really liked was there was a kill in broad daylight.
Yeah, there was.
I loved that.
Yeah, it's like
Right
he doesn't
in the middle.
even care anymore.
Yeah, right in the middle on a front lawn, like in a suburban
Yeah.
street. Just like, wow. All
Yeah.
right, we're going for it.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool. I don't think that's happened in any of the Scream films. Doesn't really happen in horror in general.
Oh yeah, because I mean, typically daylight's not a scary time of day,
Yeah.
so it's but it's also like a bold move too for a killer to kill
Yeah.
out in daylight like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I love that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that keeps you guessing. A lot of talk about, the meta like theme for the movie. A lot of the characters are suspicious. Almost every character
yeah.
gives some
At
sort
some
of
point, it's
like
well, okay.
suspicious statement, or
Yeah.
they end up popping up after a killing, or something happens with almost everybody, I think.
Yeah.
That makes you wonder, which is purposeful, of course.
Yeah.
There's even a scene where two of them tell each other that they're the killer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but how
Yeah.
do you know I'm not the killer? Like,
Yeah.
like just this like dialogue that makes it makes the audience think like, why would they say that?
Yeah.
And I love all that stuff because I was thinking like during that scene, like, is this where we get the reveal?
Yeah.
Is this really?
We're only like an hour into this movie.
Yeah, I'm like, already?
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder when is the reveal going to come? Because I feel like it almost came a few times before
Yeah.
it actually does happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like the reveal was pretty good. The reveal and
And the motive.
the motive was cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of horror fans can really appreciate the motive. Maybe not. They appreciate it not to the extent of killing people, but I
yeah.
think they're going to enjoy the motive.
The motive is always exaggerated, obviously people aren't going to kill for the reasons that they kill for in these movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, the motive is definitely, that's one thing about all of these movies, which kind of worries me if they continue on with the series. With 6 and 7, I think they have like a trilogy plan or something.
They're definitely going. This one made $35 million so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point, like on one hand, it would kind of suck if they waited another 10 years to come up with another one, because I want to see these movies like come out all the time. But then you're substituting, if you're getting it every couple years, you're not going to get the meta. Unless, like, it's going to be hard because there's a reason that they come out with these movies every 10 years. We get something new in horror about every 10 years or so. And there's really not anything new after the whole, like, requel thing that they were talking about. So it's like, I don't know how they're going to do it. But I don't know. I just want to see another Scream movie.
Yeah.
But it's like,
they might be able to continue with the same like the same content, like the same concept, just go further with it.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
I don't know.
Scream in space.
Yeah. So the kills were good. I really like the kills. There's, they're not super creative, although one is I think pretty creative. Just in the brutality of it.
Yeah.
It's pretty shocking.
Yeah,
there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, this one, Ghostface was meaner than he's been in pretty much all the other movies.
Yeah.
He's just, it's bloodier. I don't want to say it's gorier because it really wasn't much like gore to it, but it was bloodier for sure. And just like he was just so intense with like
a lot of
some of the kills. Like, yeah, dude, calm down, chill.
They're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they're dead now. Yeah, really.
But then there was
kills.
a kill that was like quick jab to the throat, and that was
Yeah.
it. Like he was just bleeding out,
Yeah.
which is also kind of mean too because he's like slowly dying. But but it's just like sometimes he stab people 10 times, other times he just quick little jab.
Yeah.
Depends on his mood at the time.
So yeah, the kills were cool.
Yeah.
The big three, I think David Arquette was probably the best out of the three of them. He's kind of the star between the three of them. The big three, though, are not really the focus of this movie. It's more these two these two characters, sisters.
Yeah.
There's a little history between, with one of them, which is really cool. She starts seeing somebody that is awesome. So we won't spoil that right now. And I feel like there is good references to the first movie. A lot of talk about the first movie, actually.
Yeah. Stab.
Yeah, Stab. Yes. Stab for them, Scream for us.
Yeah.
They reference Stab a lot. The Stab series, too, gets discussed a lot, which is then, it's just really cool to hear these characters in this movie talk about a movie that's based on a real experience to them, which is the Scream franchise for us. It's just, you can go round and round in circles with that stuff.
It's crazy.
It's mind-bending.
Yes.
Randy is mentioned. That might be a spoiler.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, mentioned.
Yeah, he's mentioned.
To what extent?
Yeah. And so this is obviously the first one not directed by Wes Craven.
Yeah. It's not written by Kevin Williamson either, which the only other one he didn't write was 3.
Yeah.
So.
It does say at the very end, it says for Wes. Pretty cool. Little reference
one
there.
of the characters was named Wes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And one of the characters was Wes.
The main character's last name was Carpenter.
Yeah. And her first name was Sam, which you will understand when you watch the movie why that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll explain it in the spoiler section too. But.
Yeah. Let's see. So, I mean, it's been pretty successful. We're recording this on the weekend of the release, and it's made 35 plus million in the U.S.
The first weekend.
Weekend. So that's a good sign. They're saying it might even surpass the original as far as money made. Yeah, it's doubled what 4 made in its opening weekend. Yeah. Jeez. 4 made 18 million.
We're in a pandemic.
Yeah. So it's of course there's inflation, so things are a little different with how much money is being made, but yeah, so that's a good sign for potentially new Scream coming in the next few years.
Yeah.
So
we'll
see.
I would love to see another Scream movie in the next couple years here.
Yeah.
Because we literally from 3 to 5 it was every like 10 years. Because 3 was 2000. Yeah. 4 was 11, and now it's 22. So
yeah, we'll see.
There's only a year between 1 and 2.
Yeah. It looks like these established franchises from the the 80s, the 90s, like are all coming back. And Scream, I think, is probably the most successful one right now to do it. Halloween, I don't even think made this much in its opening weekend.
Yeah, I don't know.
Halloween Kills
it made, yeah.
So they were saying that Scream would probably make more than Halloween Kills. So it's just an exciting time to be a horror fan. Of those originals, and they're all slashers, so it's great for me. So yeah. Let's go ahead and give our rating, and then get into spoilers.
All right.
So what do you think?
So I really like this movie. We're gonna do the rankings too at the end of this as well.
Yeah, let's do we can do our rankings. We'll rate this, do our ranking, and then go into spoilers. Yeah.
So yeah, I really like this one. I think I'm gonna give this one a 91.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
91 for me as well. Wow.
Nice.
So if you have kept up with all of our reviews, then you should know our ranking because I think they're going to match up with the scores.
Maybe, yeah.
Joel's not too sure. But let's go ahead.
I really need to start writing that stuff down, like when I'm ranking stuff.
From 5 to 1. What do you
5
got?
to 1. So, number 5 for me is going to be Scream 3.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. So 2 through 4 is tough because it could literally. For right now, I think I'm gonna go Scream 2 as number 4.
Same for me.
Okay. And then so the third spot, they could go either way. They could switch. I'm gonna go Scream 2022.
Okay.
Just because I do, I like the characters, but I think Scream 4, I like their characters slightly more in that one. Which number 2 is Scream 4.
Okay.
And then Scream for number 1.
Okay. So I would just switch 4 and 5 or 2022. So I would say third would be 4 for me. Number 2 would be this new one, and then number 1 would be Scream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Scream 4 and 5 could easily be switched. Like they're pretty equal to me.
Same for me. And I've seen 4, I don't know how many times now.
Yeah.
So if I were to watch 2022 the same amount of times, then they might switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like Jill as the killer, I think, more than
You like Jill as the killer more in 4?
Yeah.
Than the
killers.
Ghostface we get this one?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of that stuff. So we're going to talk about spoilers now. Plug your ears if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Or you can just turn it off.
Yeah, I don't know why you're still listening.
Okay, so the reveal. Let's just talk about that.
All right.
So we've got...
there are 2 in this one.
So
2 killers.
Amber, which is... What's her name? Jenna Ortega's character?
Tara.
Tara.
Yeah.
Tara's like good friend.
Yeah.
So she's one of the killers, and then we have Richie, who is Sam's boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's also a killer. And when we were watching it, I was wondering how long they had been together, because it wasn't really clear until pretty deep into the movie. Someone says, or I think Sam says, like 6 months. So once, one thing that tipped it off was that he said he'd never seen the Stab movies.
Yeah.
Another thing that tipped it off for me was that as well, only 6 months. So it's a relatively newer relationship. So she doesn't probably know him, super well or well enough in a Scream movie for him to not be a killer. So, we've seen things about people saying, "Oh yeah, I knew who the killer was," and like that's a negative thing. I don't think it's a negative thing. You can guess who the killer is, and it's still a fun movie.
Yeah. I
think the meta stuff, the motive for the reveal, and the opening scene, and there's so many other things about Scream that makes it good. The guessing is fun, but I don't think that's like a deal breaker.
I think most people in the first one, like, at least guessed at one point that Billy was the killer. Yeah. It's like, and then he turns out to be one of the killers, and it's like that doesn't take away their experience. Right. It's still a lot of, like, most people's like favorite of the Scream movies. Yeah. Yeah. And so that whole, like, I knew who the killer was the minute he started talking, and it's like, okay, well, cool. That's not, Billy was creepy too. So like he had his own thing, and this character, like I think it was Richie, who people were like, because Amber wasn't really like even really there that much. Yeah, she was kind of like a side character. Yeah, for most of the movie. Yeah. Just like, what was his name, Mickey in the second one? Like he was kind of like a side character too, and turned out to be one of the killers. Yeah. So that's really shouldn't take away your experience of the movie.
Yeah.
It's it's everything. It's like you were saying, the opening scene, the whodunit aspect, the motive also plays a big part.
Yeah.
In the movie itself as well. So it's everything. It's the whole package.
Right.
So
yeah, definitely. Guessing who the killer is didn't take anything away from it for me, because I was thinking him because of those certain things. Mm-hmm. But throughout the movie, anybody could have been the killer.
Yeah,
because you can point back to anything that anybody said, or not anything, but you can point back to certain things and be like, "Oh, I knew that they were the killer because of that."
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah,
the point is for you to think that everybody is the killer.
Yeah,
so you could really do that with all the characters.
Everybody's a suspect.
Yeah, you could do that with every character in this movie.
Yeah, you really can. There's a couple of them that like they try a little bit too hard to like pinpoint.
Yeah,
that try to get you to accuse them of being the killer. Like you're talking about when she's getting the beer, like the two girls.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, guys, calm down.
Yeah, they're like,
you're taking this thing way too seriously.
Yeah. I'm the killer. And like, but how do you know I'm not the killer? Like, oh, you should go up the stairs. Oh, you first.
Yeah.
That was kind of a fun scene. But I'm glad that neither of them were the killer.
Yeah.
Or no, Amber was.
Was it Amber one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Amber was the killer, and she did say that she was. Yeah. She was the one down there with her.
She was telling the truth.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, they were together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just see. I got to see this one again.
Yeah,
I want to see some of that stuff.
I can't wait to own this one.
Yeah.
I own them all, so obviously I have to own this one too. But I'd own it anyway, even if I didn't.
Yeah.
Own the series.
So, and I'm glad that it wasn't. I don't know her name. The girl with like the reddish hair, like purple hair. She had like her hair dyed at the bottom of her hair.
Yeah, the one who was dating
or whatever.
The jock.
Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't her, because I feel like she was the most obvious. They were trying to make it.
It was apparently her
toward
first
the end.
movie she ever made.
Yeah.
She was ever in. So she did a good job with that character. But yeah, they were really pushing that one hard on us too. Yeah,
toward the end it was kind of like there was like a scene of she's leaving, and then her boyfriend tries to follow her, and then
Randy's nephew.
Yeah. He ends up getting killed. And then like 10 minutes later, she ends up showing back up at the house. It's like, okay, where were you? Like, So I feel like I'm glad that she wasn't the one, because I think that would have been kind of a lame little setup.
Yeah. That one would have been too obvious. Yeah. Like, it's just,
the flip of the killers, their personality change was really cool. Really good. They both get pretty crazy.
Yeah, Amber really got crazy.
Yeah.
In this one.
Yeah, she gets set on fire and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, she does.
And then still comes back at the end.
Yeah.
With her face melted. That was cool.
I still like, so we didn't really talk about like negatives at all. We were just talking about the movie itself, but there is one negative that I have that's also spoiler territory. Finding out, because Dewey dies.
Yes.
R.I.P. Dewey. One of them had to die. We're 5 movies in. One of the remaining 3 had to die.
Yeah.
It just kind of sucks that it was Dewey, because he, like you were saying, he was the best of the 3.
Yeah.
For sure in this movie. He's the one that like brought his A game with this movie. The other 2 kind of felt like they didn't even really want to be there.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did come from out of town to come back to Woodsboro, so they technically didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
And he was already there.
Yeah.
But like the actors in the movies felt like they didn't really want to be there. So there is a scene. It's in the trailer, like their little face off at the hospital. Like, it doesn't show in the trailer what happens, but he's walking towards Ghostface. They get into a fight, and Ghostface is like on top of him, like beating him up.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Ghostface that kills Dewey is Amber.
Yeah.
It's like she's a little girl. Like
Yeah.
she's not. He was the sheriff of Woodsboro for a while, and he's being like overtaken by this like 25-year-old little like. I just because of it just that was really like my main issue with the movie. I think was that scene once the reveal happens.
Yeah.
She does turn out to be a psychopath. Like she is completely crazy. But I just don't believe that she could have overpowered Dewey.
Yeah.
Like fighting wise.
Yeah.
Like
and she like stabs him in the stomach and then in the back and like rips him up, like pulls up both the knives. Like she is pretty strong.
Yeah, exactly.
And and the reason why it had to be her was because Richie was in the elevator going down with the other characters, so it couldn't have been him. I would say that that's a little bit of a negative for me too, just because it strength wise you wouldn't think that would add up. But he seems like he's gone downhill, so he's probably not in the best shape.
That's true.
Maybe he's not in very good shape and he has heart condition or something.
I'm surprised. Like Richie easily could have killed both of them in the elevator, and like they were the only ones there. Nobody would have known still. Because Tara is in a wheelchair. She can't move.
But that wasn't the plan. They wanted them to get back to Stu's house and have that whole scene in the kitchen and stuff. So they needed to... the motive was somewhat like the fourth one because they were kind of remaking... Well, not remaking, but they were doing a requel, I guess. But they were kind of doing that whole kitchen scene again, which is what they did in the fourth one. They did that whole kitchen scene. So that part was kind of a repeat. And my other negative is, and it's not like a super bad negative, but I wanted at least Gail or Sydney to die too.
Especially in that kitchen scene because it is a definite repeat of the first one. It would have been cool if like one of them got shot in the head. It's like some random like killing like that, just to be to make it different. And to kill off one of the other remaining two, because at this point now, if they're not too thrilled about coming back for this fifth one, they're really not going to want to come back, keep coming back. So it's like, you guys just kill them off,
just end their character,
just end them. We at this point, Sidney Prescott is my favorite final girl, and killing her off won't change that. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, she's weak because she died. No, she survived like 4 of these things. Killing off most of the Ghostface killers. Like, she,
at least like Sydney, I could see keeping around, but Gail, like, why does Gail need to be in the series still? Like, especially with no Dewey. I mean, just get her out.
And that was another thing too. When we find out that Sydney has a family, I was like, they're not going to kill her off now.
She had 2 kids and a husband.
It's like, okay, well, they've solidified that she's going to live. Like, they're not going to, after all these years, like, why would you now give her a family just to kill her off? Like,
I was kind of thinking for a certain point, because they talked about Mark, I think is her husband's name. They had mentioned him a couple of times, so I was thinking maybe it's him. Maybe he was the killer. Which would have been kind of cool, but he wouldn't have been in the movie at all until the end, so that would have been kind of lame. And then I was also thinking Tara and Sam's mom. What if she was the killer? Because she wasn't in the movie at all. They said she was like at a conference out of the country or something. And so I thought, okay, and then with the whole connection with Billy and the mom, and so I thought, okay, maybe there's something there too, but that never happened either. So those were the kind of other thoughts I had outside of the characters that were in the film that could have been the killer. But they would have had to have come out of nowhere, really.
They would have.
and
that would have been kind of just as on par as lame as like the third.
Yeah.
As Scream 3 as far as reveals go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, a character that we know nothing about.
Yeah.
It's just gonna randomly show up.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
What do you think of Billy being in the movie?
So yeah, another thing. Billy makes appearances in this movie, which is really cool. They definitely de-aged him.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Because he looks like he did in Scream 1. And he doesn't look like that anymore. Obviously, it's been like 30 years, or 25 years or something like that.
25.
Yeah. But yeah, I liked it. So the reason he's in this is because he got someone pregnant before dating Sydney, or had an affair with someone while dating Sydney in high school. And that's where we get Sam, our main character. And so she's got a little bit of crazy psycho inside of her, which we see at the end of this movie. Yeah, we see that come out, and every once in a while he'll just like show up and just like either in a mirror or something. Yeah, and just like talk to her and I guess trying to get her to join the dark side.
He's like trying to help her
find her, like discover who she really is.
I don't think so. I think he's trying. It seemed like he was trying to help her like solve the case. Yeah, it didn't. I mean, yes, sometimes he's telling her to like kill people, but he's telling her to kill the killers. Like, you know, I didn't. That was something that I thought could have been done better. I think it was cool that he was in it, and you know, the whole connection with Sam and stuff. And then her name is Sam.
Sam Loomis.
Loomis.
Yep.
Cool.
Little Halloween reference there, and Psycho reference, because his name, one of the characters is Sam Loomis.
And so I didn't feel like he was trying to turn her though. I think that would have been better.
Well, maybe all it takes is like the taste for blood. Yeah. One kill and you're good. Yeah. That's what he was trying to do, get her to kill someone. Yeah. And be like, did you enjoy that? Yeah. Because she definitely did. Yeah. Her kill, she ends up killing her boyfriend, Richie. Yeah. And
she goes to town.
She kills her boyfriend.
She gets a little crazy. I was half expecting her to then just kill everybody.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. And then just walk away. Yeah, that would have been a dark ending. Very different from the other films. Yeah. But I would have liked
maybe
that.
An alternate ending.
Yeah. Yeah. But I do think that they have something to go off of with that though, for future sequels. Her, Tara, I think they're great characters.
Yeah, they are. They need to come back. For sure.
I think they would definitely come back for more movies, and they're younger. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more of a fresh cast that I think they can really work with, because Randy's niece, she lives. She's still alive. She was great. I really liked her in this. Especially
killed off all the guys.
Yeah, especially that scene where she is sitting on the couch. They're having this whole party at Stu's house, by the way, which is cool too. Yeah. She's sitting on the couch watching Stab. Yeah. And she's watching a film about her uncle. Yeah. Who was in Scream. Mm-hmm. And had the same scene where her uncle is watching Halloween. Yeah. And watching Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers is behind her. Mm-hmm. And he's telling her, he's behind you, while Ghostface is behind him. Yeah. She's watching this as Ghostface is behind her. Yeah. and about to kill her. That was so cool. That was mind-bending for sure. I was like, oh, I don't even know how to describe this. How to like take this in right now. Yeah. It's like movies within movies within movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's like Inception shit right there.
I heard yeah, exactly. I heard that I was like watching a review on YouTube on this, and there was someone who mentioned that someone was online looking at something, and like there was if you blink you'll miss it pretty much. I missed it completely. I didn't even see it. Oh. But there's a link that says click this to for the interview with the survivor Kirby. She was in the fourth movie.
Yeah.
And so
wait, click the link. What do you mean?
Click the link to see the interview with survivor. It was online. It was a character was looking up something online, and there was something on the screen that said, "Click here for interview with survivor Kirby." Kirby, whatever her last name was.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick thing. But yeah, that would be cool if they brought her back in the sixth one too.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so
I would think that would have been a more prominent thing. Like, I mean, we both missed it. I would think that would be something that you'd want the audience to know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like an Easter egg type of thing. It's just like she's not in this one, so obviously, we may have plans for her in future movies.
Yeah,
like Wes Craven had plans for Stu in future movies, which never turned out to be.
Yeah,
I guess he could still come back, but whatever. But yeah, that was just a quick little.
Yeah, I guess it's an Easter egg, but why have it in there if you're? I don't know. I feel like if you're going to have her, then that needed to be more obvious. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or you can have it obvious and not have her in the movie still. Like, we just know, okay, she's still alive, so we can speculate. Mm-hmm. But that's weird. I would think you would want that to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it's for people to like really, if they're really focusing on something, to see that.
That kind of irritates me. I want to see that. I'm going to be really looking for that now.
Yeah. Every time someone's on a computer, what are you looking at?
Pause it. Oh, we're in the theater. Can't do that.
Yeah.
There were actual times when I wanted to pause it and like talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
About like what is happening, or like throw a theory out there or something. But that's what happens when we have all this technology. We think we can do that.
Yeah.
We can't. It sucks. We're spoiled.
Yeah, I know. We really are.
So all the talk about elevated horror and the toxic fandom and all that was really cool, because that's totally the times we live in right now. A lot of people think like, oh, if you don't like these certain movies that are, more intellectual and have deeper meanings, then, you're just a sellout, or, you're just a sheep, or, whatever. And so that's a real thing. People really like talk all that stuff, especially online.
Yeah.
And so I like how they definitely made that a big part of this movie. And part of that too that they did was they, people hold certain franchises and certain films so in high regard that anything you do ruins it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're on Stab 8 in this film.
Just came out.
And it pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
Which it did look pretty stupid. They did show some of it.
They had. So we do see the chrome face Ghostface with his flamethrower is in Stab 8. He's not in Scream 5.
Yeah.
So it's just like a split little, second type of thing.
Yeah.
Which got kind of blown out of proportion.
Yeah, online. People were thinking like, what the hell?
Yeah. It would have been cool to
Ghostface?
see Ghostface with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Like roast someone. Like that would have been cool. It would have been different than just stabbing people. But like it was bloody enough to be like, okay, well, this is slightly different because he's not stabbing people like one or two times. He's just like going crazy.
He's really going.
Yeah. So it was different enough in that aspect.
There were some kills I felt like were different, even though it was just stabbings. Like at one point, he like stabs someone through the hand.
Yeah.
When they're like trying to block him. Yeah. At the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I thought. And like when Wes gets killed, like, slowly stabbing him through the neck.
Yeah.
That
was intense.
That was cool, too. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, yes, it's still stabbings, but I still think it's creative. It's different than what we've seen before.
Another spoiler, they killed Sheriff Hicks.
Yeah.
Deputy Hicks.
Yeah, that's the broad daylight killing.
Yeah. That was Wes's mom.
Yeah.
And I was see, that's the thing with these movies. Like, I was actually, like, bummed that she died. Like, I liked her character from 4. Like, you don't really get to know her that much.
Yeah.
But you know that she was in another movie. Like, you know. So it was, like, kind of figured that either her or Wes were going to... I didn't know both of them were going to die there.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
That phone call that she takes in the car was pretty creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked all the phone calls.
Yeah.
I thought they were all cool.
We need to get that guy on our podcast.
That'd be cool. That would be really cool.
The voice.
Yeah. And something that I've always kind of thought didn't in all the Scream films, really, especially when there's a female killer. How are they getting that voice? Like, I know it's a voice changer thing, but really, just change your voice that much? Like, you can get a completely.
Hey,
I don't know.
So Scream 3 was in 2000. We're 20 plus years into the future at this point. And even in Scream 3, he had like a database of everyone's voices.
Yeah, and we made fun of that.
Yeah, we did.
Know?
Yeah, we did.
I mean, but something that was cool though was he had it like, or she at this point, because it's in the hospital, has it like connected to like her
just like push the button.
Neck, or it's like and it like turns on, and then she starts talking.
That was cool. Yeah.
Like high tech stuff here.
Yeah,
and it even makes like a little sound while it's turning on. Oh man. So overall, really good.
Yeah.
Really fun. I'm looking forward to watching it again. And for the next ones, because there's definitely going to be more.
Yeah, they did set up, at least for Sam. Yeah. Like, her character's, like, if anything, make a Sam spinoff.
Yeah. Well, Sam and Tara.
Yeah,
a lot of people lived.
Yeah, they did, but Sam in particular is still seeing Billy.
Yeah.
Like, after she's killing Richie, after that, like, she's seeing Billy still. It's like, I mean, you just killed somebody. That could have been what you needed to push you over the edge. Right. Like your dad. Yeah. Like, you know, you enjoyed it too. There was a smile on your face as you're murdering your boyfriend. You enjoyed that. Yeah. You are going to turn into a psychopath. Yeah. And I wish she had at the end of this movie. That would have been awesome. Yeah. To just see her, like, see Sydney and Gail with their guards let down because both the killers are dead. And then she just kills them both. Yeah. Like, that would have been so good. Yeah. They could definitely do something with her. That would be too obvious, though, at the same time. That's why it would need to be a spinoff, because it's another Scream movie. Yeah. We definitely know who the killer is. Yeah. And, I mean, they could do that with, you know, still having a second killer. Yeah. With, you know, then that being the mystery, who's the second killer. Mm-hmm. Maybe, like, she kills somebody with the ghost face. She finds Stu. Yeah, that'd be cool. He's like trying to buy his house again, and she comes across him. Yeah. So she could kill somebody. Maybe she kills Gail. Yeah. As Ghostface, and then she's caught. And in prison or in jail or on trial or something, but there's still more Ghostface killings. And she's in jail. Boom. And that's where she sees Stu. Yeah, there At least get a cameo. Boom! I just came up with the script. Nice. The story for Scream. At least the story. Yeah, maybe not the script, but the story. I need credit. Yeah, exactly. Story by. Yeah, I need credit. One thing that kind of sucked. It's not really a negative, but I knew Dewey was gonna die. Yeah, you did. Like the second, because Dewey is calling Sydney, telling her about the killings going on. And she's happy. She's, you know, she has a family. She's long away from wherever. I don't think they really said where she's at, but she's away from Woodsboro. Yeah. And she's happy. And he is just telling her not to come here, and she's like, "Don't worry, I won't."
Yeah.
And so I know that she does.
Yeah.
She has a scene in the trailer with Gale.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have one with Dewey.
Yeah.
And I was like, he is gonna die, and that's gonna bring her back.
Yeah.
And then that's exactly what happened. I was like, damn it.
Yeah. It would have been cool to see him carry on the franchise.
Yeah.
Further. Because he was definitely the best character and best acted.
He was.
Yeah, that would have been cool to see him live. Mm-hmm. But somebody had to die.
Somebody had to bring her back.
Yeah.
To Woodsboro. So.
Yep. I just wish it was Gale instead.
Yeah. Sorry, Gale. Like, you shouldn't have lived past 1. Like, you were not a good person.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and something else that was cool. There was a couple of parts where there was music from. There was the boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The Dewey music.
Yeah. And then the theme song played basically is like what it is. It's in like was it in 4? I don't think it was in 4. It was in at least the first 3.
Yeah.
Like their song. It's like he's one of the first kills of the movie is at the bar, like in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And he's blasting the song in the radio
in the car.
the car, and one of the guys goes over and like there's nobody in the car, like turns off the radio and stuff, and that's where you get like the quick jab to the throat, to the neck, and he's just like dying that way.
Yeah. But
yeah, it was cool to bring that back.
Bring that song back.
Yeah.
And the Dewey song.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Which we'll never get again.
Yeah. Oh man. As he's like dying, it should have been like a dong 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 dong.
I'll
like
slower,
super slow.
It would have taken away from the moment a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think that would have been cool. Yeah. So that's a bummer too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So this was a fun movie.
Yeah,
a
really
lot of
fun.
fun.
Obviously, we've talked about it for going on an hour.
Yeah,
so.
almost an hour.
Yeah. So yeah, good movie. I think horror fans will like it. Mm-hmm. Fans of the franchise definitely will like it.
Yeah.
There's something for everybody there. And then even fans of just like you've seen the first one, you're like, oh, Scream, we didn't see the other sequels.
Yeah.
But you see the first one, everybody knows the first one. Even they will like it. It really references the first one a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't really talk about the other ones too much.
Well, it's a direct sequel to the first. So
it's a requel.
Yeah.
So
just don't even pay attention. Although they did bring back Hicks, who was in the 4th. So
yeah. No, I think
it's
I think it's a sequel to all of them. But
they just
didn't talk about the other ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, because they referenced Dewey being the sheriff and everything, and it wasn't in the first one. So, yeah. Okay, I think that's it.
Yep, that's all. That's all I got.
Okay. All right. Well, we're done with Scream. A couple years, I'm sure we'll talk about the next one.
Yeah.
And moving
Update
on.
our ranking lists.
Yeah. Moving on to whatever horror brings us next, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming out. I mean, we've got Texas Chainsaw, which we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Simultaneously with this.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's next as far as like series. I know Insidious comes out this year at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know when exactly.
Jeepers Creepers comes out at some point. Halloween ends October.
Yeah. Well, we've already done that series. Yeah. Like, we just need to do that movie.
Oh, as far as series, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what. Yeah, probably Insidious. We'll probably jump on that. Mm-hmm. Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah. Well, we've only got 3 of those. We only got 4 of the Insidious, but yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. This has been Scare Talk.
Sleep tight.
Don't let Dewey bite.
We'll never bite again.